How are we doing?
Okay, guys, good evening. Welcome to press conference ahead of game tomorrow night. We'll start with questions for both. Please wait for the translation after.
Καλώς ορίσατε στο conference για το αυριανό παιχνίδι. Θα ξεκινήσουμε με ερωτήσεις.
Can I ask you, you're obviously sitting here as interim manager. Can you give us a timeline of how you found out and where you were when you found out that you got the nod?
Sunday evening, I was just at home. Obviously, it came out of the blue. It wasn't a call I was expecting, but things moved very fast and came in Monday morning and started to work.
Sorry. Η ερώτηση είναι πότε έμαθε ο προπονητής ότι θα αναλάβει την ομάδα. Η απάντηση ήταν την Κυριακή το βράδυ και τη Δευτέρα παρουσιάστηκε και άρχισε τη δουλειά του.
So can you give us any information as to maybe who told you and what your immediate reaction was and how, if you had to think about it for very long?
James Bisgrove.
Excuse me, just to do the transition, sorry. Μπορείς να μας δώσεις περισσότερες πληροφορίες περί του appointment σας?
James Bisgrove and Craig Robertson I received a phone call from, so obviously it was a bit of a whirlwind after that there, so went off the phone and obviously had a few conversations, and but my decision was made very quickly. I was honoured the fact that the board had that conversation and my name came up and they put their trust in me to try and do this job, and I'm going to give it my all to try and be successful.
Will you have a different...
Sorry. Βασικά μίλησα μαζί με τη διοίκηση. Ήταν τιμή μου που ήρθε το όνομα μου για αυτήν τη θέση και έχω υποσχεθεί ότι θα δώσω τα πάντα για την επιτυχία.
Will we see a different approach from you and Alex as part of the management team compared to the previous manager, do you think, on the pitch?
Yeah, listen, I think for us we just want to give the boys the freedom to go out and play to their strengths really, and of course it's not a position we want to be in at this minute in time, but I think if you take the Europa League on its own, it'll be a very positive result against Betis. It's about us trying to continue that there, and if we get a result out here then it'll put us in a really strong position, so there'll be minor little tweaks, but the fortunate thing is that I've been around a lot of the players, played with a lot of them, so I know the strengths that they all bring to the team, and I just want to try and give them the platform to go and showcase what they can do.
Η ερώτηση ήταν αν θα δούμε κάτι διαφορετικό σε σχέση με τον προηγούμενο προπονητή. Η απάντηση ήταν ότι ως πρώην παίκτης της ομάδας γνωρίζει τους ποδοσφαιριστές, γνωρίζει τις δυνάμεις. Σίγουρα θα υπάρχουν κάποιες μικροαλλαγές, αλλά θα τα δώσουμε όλα αύριο στον αγώνα.
Just a final one from me, if I can. I think the club have hinted that they're going to take their time to try and put the search for a new manager. That will obviously give you time to impress. Is it a job that you want full-time?
Listen, there's not been any conversations in terms of time frame or anything. Obviously happened very quickly. I was asked to come in and take the game tomorrow night first and foremost, and how things play out after that I'm not really too sure. Regarding my feelings around it, I've obviously got ambitions. I didn't expect it to quite happen quite so soon, but I'm just determined really to make the most of the opportunity that I've been given, and as I say, we'll see what develops from there. Thank you.
Η ερώτηση ήταν αν πιστεύει ότι θα του δοθεί ευκαιρία για να πάρει έναν full-time ρόλο στην ομάδα. Η απάντηση ήταν ότι η προτεραιότητα έχει το παιχνίδι το αυριανό, αλλά από τη δική του την πλευρά θα δώσει τις καλύτερες του δυνάμεις για να πετύχει στο σκοπό που έχει ως προτεραιότητα είναι το αυριανό παιχνίδι, και μετά θα το δει με τη διοίκηση.
Hi Stephen, congratulations. You've obviously been in that dressing room for a long time. You've known the guys as teammates. What's the reaction, the reception you've got from them now walking in and being the manager, and how does that relationship have to change? I mean, I see you've already had to change out the training gear. You've got the coaches' training gear on. How is that relationship going to have to change over the next few weeks?
To be honest, I don't see there being any issues there. As I say, I've got a lot of respect for everybody in that dressing room, and I think that's reciprocated. And I think ultimately we all want the same thing. We all want to be successful and win games of football on a consistent basis, and that's all our focus is really on.
Συγχαρητήρια για τη θέση. Είσαι αρκετά χρόνια στην ομάδα, γνωρίζεις τους παίχτες. Πόσο δύσκολο είναι να αλλάξεις από το ποδοσφαιρικό κομμάτι να πας στο προπονητικό? Και η απάντηση ήταν ότι δεν υπάρχει κάποιο θέμα, υπάρχει απόλυτος σεβασμός, γνωρίζει τους ποδοσφαιριστές για αρκετά χρόνια, υπάρχει ένας κοινός στόχος και θα δουλέψουν προς αυτήν την κατεύθυνση.
Had you gone, Stephen, to Rome for the Ryder Cup for a couple of days? I'm quite sure it was a bit of R&R. You couldn't have envisaged for a second when you're over there that...
Yeah, a couple of different extremes, isn't it? Like, so yeah, they managed to get out there for a day.
And in terms of... Sorry?
I didn't get quite the question, sorry.
I was asking the manager, he had gone to watch the European Ryder Cup team play golf in Rome.
Okay, we can skip that.
In terms of the immediate focus, Stephen, it's how do you go about rebuilding confidence in 3 or 4 days? Because clearly, after the game on Saturday, that you know, that's a task you're going to have to undertake.
Yeah, listen, I think there's a lot of character within the dressing room. We've got a lot of leaders within there as well, and everybody knows it's time to step up. The great thing about football is you get another opportunity to turn things around. As I said, it's not a position we want to be in. Everybody's hurting from it. And the main focus is, first and foremost, getting a result tomorrow night and then building that again from there. And as I said, the positive thing about it is the fact that we've won the opening group game. We're in a strong position and we want to try and build on that.
Η ερώτηση ήταν πώς μπορεί να γυρίσει το κλίμα της ομάδας από τα τελευταία ατυχή αποτελέσματα. Υπάρχουν αρκετοί καλοί χαρακτήρες στα αποδυτήρια, ηγέτες, και όλοι έχουν προσανατολιστεί στον στόχο που δεν είναι άλλο από την επιτυχία στο αυριανό παιχνίδι.
Stephen's obviously quite a lengthy injury list the club's been dealing with for the last few weeks. We've seen a couple of the boys have travelled. Can you just give us a run through who's fit and who's not?
Yeah, so Nico's travelled and also Kamar Roof. Unfortunately, Jacko didn't make it, but those two will be available to play a part in the game, providing obviously everything goes well in the session tonight.
Υπήρχαν κάποιοι τραυματισμοί στην ομάδα. Δυστυχώς βασικά ο Τζάκο δεν θα μπορέσει να βρίσκεται στον αυριανό αγώνα. Οι υπόλοιποι παίχτες είναι όλοι στη διάθεση μας.
Stephen, have you spoken to Michael Beale over the last couple of days, or has he sent you a message, or has been any conversations there?
Yeah, I spoke to him on Sunday night. Well, obviously, in the conversation will remain relatively private, but for me, I wanted to thank him personally because he's the way he's dealt with me with my injury and the sort of tough time I'm going through in terms of that there. Over the last 9 months, him and his staff were excellent in terms of all the support they gave me. So it was a case of that, and obviously it wasn't a position that I wanted to see. But yeah, it was just a brief conversation, and he wished me all the best.
Η ερώτηση ήταν αν έχει μιλήσει με τον προηγούμενο προπονητή της ομάδας. Έχει μιλήσει μαζί του την Κυριακή το βράδυ. Φυσικά εννοείται ήταν ιδιωτική συνομιλία, αλλά βασικά του έχει μεταφέρει την καλή του τύχη, τις καλές του ευχές για το αυριανό παιχνίδι, και γενικά του χρωστάει πολύ για τους τελευταίους 9 μήνες για το support των τραυματισμών του και οτιδήποτε έχει περάσει. Σίγουρα δεν ήταν το αποτέλεσμα που ήθελε ο προπονητής αυτή τη στιγμή για να αποδεσμευτεί ο προηγούμενος, αλλά αυτά είναι.
James, from a player's point of view, how difficult has the last few days been, and you know, just how much responsibility do you guys feel for what happened to the previous manager and the responsibility now to work under Stephen?
Yeah, you never, as a team or as a player, see obviously your manager go. Collectively as a team, we all feel responsible. You know, we know that performances have not been there, but ultimately the results that have cost us this season, we're dropping points. It's not been good enough, and we all take responsibility for that. So, yeah, past few days has been, challenging, but seeing Stephen get the opportunity to take the team, we'll admire him so much as a player and as a person. We all have great respect for him, so I'm sure all the lads in the change room will give him the utmost everything that he requires, especially for tomorrow night.
Η ερώτηση είναι ως ποδοσφαιριστές πόσον τους έχει επηρεάσει η αλλαγή του προπονητή. Η απάντηση ήταν ότι σίγουρα όλοι οι ποδοσφαιριστές είμαστε υπεύθυνοι για το τι έχει συμβεί. Η απόδοση μας δεν είναι στα αναμενόμενα επίπεδα. Έχουμε πλήρη θαυμασμό στον Steve και θα δώσουμε τα πάντα για να φέρουμε σε πέρας το δύσκολο έργο που έχουμε αύριο.
James, the scenes at Ibrox last weekend were pretty angry scenes, and surely they were difficult to go through, and there was footage of you online being confronted by a fan. What would your message be to the Rangers fans at this after the last difficult few days, and how difficult has it been for you personally and the squad?
I think the first thing you can answer back is obviously your next game and getting a result in your next game, which is obviously we'll have a challenging game tomorrow night, but we've started the group off really well. We can put ourselves in a great position if we get the result that we want tomorrow. So ultimately the fans want us to win, and everyone who signed up to be a player for Rangers knew the task and knew this is a winning club, and that's what we all want to be. We all want to be winners. I think the points where they have been dropped, or even in games where they've been close, it's been really down to small moments and not taking our chances. And I think ultimately if we can address that, the weekend would have looked different. But that us as players, we have to take that responsibility to take those smaller moments and make differences in games.
Τι μήνυμα θέλετε να περάσετε στους οπαδούς σε σχέση με τα προηγούμενα αποτελέσματα? Η απάντηση ήταν ότι σίγουρα θέλουμε να πάρουμε ένα θετικό αποτέλεσμα στον αυριανό αγώνα. Έχουμε ξεκινήσει καλά στον όμιλο. Σίγουρα οι οπαδοί μας περιμένουν από μας να νικήσουμε. Είμαστε όλοι νικητές και κάποια ατυχείς αποτελέσματα που είχαν κριθεί στις λεπτομέρειες και θα δουλέψουμε σε αυτό έτσι ώστε να γυρίσουμε τα πράγματα.
Just last couple, please.
Can I ask the same question to both of you, James? You first of all, what are you expecting from the opposition tomorrow?
They'll obviously have their own challenge. They like to press from when we build up. They like to obviously try and catch on the counter attack. So we've got to be well balanced as a team when we're attacking. The best thing, obviously, when you play in Europe, it's going to be an open game of football. By a full belief in our ability as a team that we can get the job done tomorrow night.
Η ίδια ερώτηση ήταν σχετικά με το τι περιμένουν αύριο από τον Άρη. Σίγουρα θα είναι ένα δύσκολο παιχνίδι. Ο αντίπαλος παίζει αρκετά το pressing και την αντεπίθεση. Θα είναι σίγουρα ένα ανοιχτό παιχνίδι για όλες τις ομάδες και για τις δύο ομάδες.
Yeah, echo what James says. Also, they're obviously an athletic side. They like to get runners in behind and play forward quickly. So we're going to have to get the balance right in terms of how we approach the game.
Βασικά και ο προπονητής συμφωνά μαζί με τον προηγούμενο που αναφέρθηκε στο πώς παίζει ο Άρης. Πρέπει να είναι προσεκτικοί για το αυριανό παιχνίδι.
Μια ερώτηση για τον Στίβεν. Σίγουρα είναι πολύ αγαπητός από ό,τι έχω ακούσει από τους συναδέρφους στη Rangers, από τους οπαδούς στη Rangers. Αν αυτό που κάνει τώρα είναι λίγο επικίνδυνο για τον ίδιο, γιατί στο τέλος, εάν έρθουν κι άλλα αποτυχή αποτελέσματα, μπορεί να βρεθεί εκτεθειμένος χωρίς να ευθύνεται. Πώς αναλαμβάνει αυτή την ευθύνη κάτω από αυτές τις προϋποθέσεις και πώς πρόλαβε να διαβάσει έναν αντίπαλο για ευρωπαϊκό παιχνίδι τη στιγμή που έχει αναλάβει το Κυριακή το βράδυ και κάτι τελευταίο, πώς θα τον επηρεάσει οι καιρικές συνθήκες εδώ στην Κύπρο. Ευχαριστώ.
Basically, the question is he has noticed that you are very liked by everyone in this room and from the fans of Rangers.
Nice. I might not stay together.
And basically, he's wondering if it's dangerous for your career if by taking on this role, if the bad results continue as they are. How and the second scale of the question was did you have time to evaluate and review the way Aris is playing currently, considering that you just got the job offer, let's say, on Sunday night and you started working on Monday?
Yeah.
And the weather.
Yeah, sorry.
Started so positively, didn't it?
We can add it up.
Yeah, regarding obviously my thoughts on the position, I just thought it was too good an opportunity for me to turn down, and obviously I have a great affinity with the club, and whenever I got offered the chance to lead the team for 1 game, 2 games, whatever it may be, I wanted to try and help out in any way I could in terms of with myself and the staff that are here already and the players, so we're all together and trying to get the results that we want and get back to where we want to be. Should I go with that first? Or?
Yeah. Βασικά είναι μια πολύ καλή ευκαιρία για μένα και για την ομάδα που είμαστε εδώ. Ο σκοπός μας είναι να βοηθήσουμε όσο μπορούμε να γυρίσουμε την κατάσταση και μαζί με τα παιδιά στα αποδυτήρια, όλοι μαζί σαν ομάδα θα προχωρήσουμε μπροστά.
Regarding the prep for the game, obviously it's been a really intense couple of days, trying to get as much footage and see as many things that we can pick up from how they play. Although looking at their games, they've changed systems 3 times in the last 5 games, but a lot of their principles remain the same. So hopefully we've done a good job in terms of that, and the boys are well prepared in terms of going out for the game tomorrow night.
Okay. Σχετικά με την προετοιμασία για το παιχνίδι, σίγουρα ήταν δύσκολο. Προσπαθήσαμε να μελετήσουμε τον αντίπαλο. Έχουμε προσέξει ότι έχει αλλάξει τουλάχιστον 3 φορές τα τελευταία παιχνίδια το σύστημα. Αλλά η ιδέα παραμένει η ίδια και θα προσπαθήσουμε μαζί με τα παιδιά αύριο για το καλύτερο αποτέλεσμα. There was another scale of the question. Will the weather affect you in any way tomorrow compared to what you are used to back in Scotland?
I don't think so. I think being out there tonight before coming in for the press conference, it doesn't feel as warm as what I probably expected it to be. And all of our players have played in hot conditions before, so I don't see that being a problem.
Δεν νομίζω να μας επηρεάσει καθόλου ο καιρός αύριο. Ερχόμενος μέσα στο conference έχω δει πώς είναι η θερμοκρασία έξω, δεν είναι τόσο ζεστά όσο ίσως να περιμέναμε. Τα παιδιά έχουν εμπειρία να παίζουν σε τέτοιες συνθήκες, οπότε δεν θα υπάρχει κάποιο πρόβλημα.
Μια ερώτηση για τον James. Υπάρχει ένα κακό κλίμα, σίγουρα τον τελευταίο καιρό. Πώς επηρεάζει τους ποδοσφαιριστές αυτό το κακό κλίμα και με αυτή την ψυχολογία πώς θα μπορέσουν να αντεπεξέλθουν νιώθοντας την πίεση ότι πρέπει να πάρουν αποτέλεσμα. Όλο αυτό πιστεύει ότι θα γυρίσει αρνητικά εναντίον τους ή τελικά θα είναι θετικό για να βγάλουν αυτοπεποίθηση και δύναμη για να επανέλθουν στα καλά αποτελέσματα.
Basically, the question is to James. There's bad, let's say, climate around the club, around the players. How do you feel this will affect the players in tomorrow's game? Will this negative, let's say, pressure work towards your favor, or will it work against you for tomorrow's game?
I think, as a team, we've got a lot of characters in the squad. After coming off back of a bad result and any bad results that you received in past years, you really want to learn quickly as possible, put it in the back of your mind, and move on to the next game and start fresh. Since that game, we've been working really hard at the training pitch, preparing for this game. So the state of mind will be, turning up tomorrow night and trying to win the game.
Υπάρχουν αρκετοί χαρακτήρες στην ομάδα. Είμαστε συνηθισμένοι να ερχόμαστε πίσω από κακά αποτελέσματα. Θέλουμε όλοι να τα αφήσουμε αυτά πίσω μας. Έχουμε δουλέψει πάρα πολύ σκληρά και ο σκοπός αύριο είναι να βγούμε στο γήπεδο και να πάρουμε το θετικό αποτέλεσμα που
Stephen, first of all, how is your injury rehab going?
I was continuing rehab obviously up until the last few days. Hasn't been plain sailing, but they're starting to feel he's getting back to a better place, and the knee in general feels good, which is the most important thing.
Η ερώτηση ήταν περί του τραυματισμού του Steve και πώς πάει η αποκατάσταση. Έχει σταματήσει τη φυσιοθεραπεία πριν μερικές μέρες, αλλά νιώθει αρκετά καλά και επανέρχεται σιγά σιγά στις κανονικές ροές.
Last one.
You said this opportunity came, a lot earlier than you would have expected. Have you maybe reached out to any former coaches or managers for a bit of advice? Because I imagine it will be quite different being in a dugout tomorrow, something you're not used to.
Yeah, I think we've got the experience. Obviously, Alex Ray and beside me, Colin Stewart, Stephen Smith and Brian from the academy. So I've had a lot of messages from different managers that I've worked under. Unfortunately, I haven't really had a chance to respond because it has been quite intense in terms of trying to prepare for the game. But obviously, I'm very appreciative of the support they've been given, but I haven't had a chance to reach out to anybody or felt the need to just yet.
Η ερώτηση ήταν πόσο δύσκολο θα είναι αύριο λόγω του ότι δεν υπάρχει εμπειρία σαν προπονητής και αν έχει έρθει σε επικοινωνία με κάποιον από τους προηγούμενους προπονητές της ομάδας. Έχει λάβει αρκετά μηνύματα, λέει δυστυχώς δεν είχε χρόνο να ανταποδώσει, αλλά σίγουρα τους ευχαριστά όλους για το support που έχει λάβει αυτές τις μέρες.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Cheers. Thank you.